quiet, it's wonderful. Reverend President, Canon Parsons, Reverend Fathers and gentlemen, a silence for Mr. Norman Scutt, the Chairman of the Association.
Very Reverend Canon, Reverend Fathers and gentlemen, first and foremost I would like to say a word of thanks on my own behalf, as well as on behalf of you all, for the kind words that Father Groves spoke just a few moments ago. And in the name of one and all of you, I would like to welcome him here tonight, and also welcome him as the new President of the Association. I know we are met here tonight, gentlemen, primarily to pay tribute to what has happened in the past. But let us not forget that one of the ways of paying tribute to the past, one of the ways of remembering the past, is to express our loyalty to the present and the future. And I would therefore like, in your name, to express the thought that we will all offer our loyal support to the school and to Father Groves in the present and in the future. There has always been the closest cooperation between the Old Boys Association and the school, and I have no doubt that this will continue. For after all, we are all striving for the same thing, the maximum benefit of all the boys of Finchley Grammar School, past, present and future. I'm sure therefore you will all join with me in extending our very warmest good wishes to Father Groves, and the promise of our loyal support in everything that he does, indeed everything that he is already doing, for the welfare of Finchley Grammar School. My second duty, gentlemen, is to make a small presentation on your behalf to Father Groves. Oh, it's all right, don't worry, I haven't got mixed up yet. Because I would like to present to Father Groves, to the school, the portrait which you see behind me at the moment. We are proud to be able to present to the school this portrait of Canon Parsons, and I've no doubt that it will be hung in the schoolhouse as a living reminder to all the boys of the school of the founder and first headmaster of the school. We're most grateful to Dennis Schofield, the school art master, who was good enough to paint this portrait of Canon Parsons, and I'm very pleased to see him here this evening. I feel sure I may add that if he had been able to finish the work on this some months ago, rather than only a few days ago, he would have had 3 and not just 2 paintings exhibited in this year's Royal Academy Summer Exhibition. As to the subject of this portrait, gentlemen, I feel the attendance here tonight is probably the most eloquent of all tributes to Canon Parsons. There are in fact 214 people in this room at the moment, not counting the usual crowd of gate crashers. And they have come from far afield. There are old boys here tonight from Oxford and from Cambridge, from Huntingdon and Bristol, and even further from Manchester and Newcastle. And there are hundreds more old boys whom I know would be here if they could, but who are with us in spirit and join in all that we may say or do in paying tribute to the Canon tonight. May I, by way of evidence, read one telegram which arrived only an hour or so ago. This is from Father Harold Winston, and it says, "Greetings and all good wishes. You are always remembered in my prayers and masses." I'll hand it to you, Canon. also add that the old boys here tonight cover, I think, all generations from the first to the latest. We're very pleased to see here tonight Dennis Hallisey, who is the first old boy and was the first head prefect of the school. Right across the year, as I say, covering all generations, to people who have left only this last summer. As to our memories of Canon Parsons, I have always suspected that different generations tell different anecdotes. Different generations have different memories. But I like to think that I have got one memory that perhaps is shared by almost everybody in this room. It's the thought of being told to go up those stairs in the schoolhouse, and then up 4 more stairs, and of knocking rather timidly at the door, and being told to come in. One will be met with a look above the glasses. There would be on the face an utterly inimitable mixture of sternness and kindness, and he would mutter some such words as, "Well, Norman, and what have you been up to now?" We all have our memories of Canon Parsons, but we all also feel that he has done a great deal. The story of the school of the last 36 years, I'm sure, is much too familiar to all of you to need me to repeat it tonight. May I perhaps illustrate that story by 2 other things, not directly connected with Finchley Grammar School, but 2 things of which we're perhaps not altogether conscious. May I remind you, or perhaps inform you, that in 1948, Canon Parsons founded the Challoner School for the benefit of Catholic boys who did not qualify for entrance to Finchley Grammar School. In 1948, when wartime restrictions and difficulties still lingered on, when Canon Parsons was already headmaster of a grammar school of 500 boys and with a prep school attached to it, and when Canon Parsons, forgive me if I'm being tactless, when Canon Parsons was already approaching 60 years of age. Is there not every single one of us, would we not have sat back in such circumstances and have said, "I have done my bit, I leave this job to someone else," but not Canon Parsons? Even more recently, gentlemen, in the last 2 or 3 months, I have met countless old boys who have said to me, "Where is Canon Parsons now?" And I have told them he's parish priest at Chorley Wood, right out on the edge of Hertfordshire, beyond Rickmansworth. And time and again the second question has been, has he started Chorley Wood Grammar School yet? You know, gentlemen, there is really only one truthful answer to that question. It is not yet. For I know that he has already started to teach some RI to some of the local Catholic boys. And he has done all this, if I may say so. All this effort that he has made has all been without any trace whatever of personal ambition, without any desire for his own glory, his own gain, his own benefit. I know quite well that many of us from time to time have criticised him for this or blamed him for that or disagreed with him about something else. But this is the point, gentlemen, this is the truth, that no man could have devoted his lifetime so ceaselessly, so courageously, so utterly unselfishly to the cause of Catholic education. Our tangible tribute tonight, then, gentlemen, takes two forms. And first, it is my very great honour, on behalf of you all, to present to Canon Parsons a cheque signed in the name of the Old Boys of Finchley Grammar School. I might add that the Albanian Association has added a very tiny sum to this to bring it up to a round number, and on behalf of you all, I'm very pleased to present to Canon Parsons a cheque for £460.
Drinks on the Canon.
Secondly, gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present to the Canon this autograph book, as you can see appropriately in blue and gold. It has on the first page the letters CHP and beneath it Ad Multos Annos. I feel I need not translate either. On the second page, equally beautifully illuminated, are the words Canon Parsons. You can see, no doubt, most of you, the school badge at the top, and then the words Canon Parsons. We think of you with gratitude, affection and respect as headmaster, priest and friend. Then at the bottom, do you remember ... and there then appear in this book 332 signatures. It is my great pleasure, Canon, to present this also to you. For we hope, Canon, that from time to time you will look at this book and that you will remember, at least those of us whose signatures you can read. We hope also that we shall see something of you from time to time. As you were the founder of our association, so we hope you will now become its patron, and that you will appear at our gatherings, and perhaps particularly, if I may say so, at our annual dinner, when you will always be assured, of course, I feel it therefore only remains for me to wish you, on behalf of everyone here present, we wish you, and may God grant you, every grace and happiness and blessing, now and forevermore. Gentlemen, I ask you to raise your glasses and drink a toast with me to Canon Parsons. Canon
The
Parsons.
Canon.